Welcome to Treasure Hunters. My name is Eric Gleaton, or you can call me E. We are here to do an estate sale at this house. Our company, Treasure Hunters, and through our website, Gleatons.com, one of the largest online auctions in the country, every week we go into homes like this and we find treasure after treasure, amazing items. And what we want to do is we want to bring it to you and show the world what we find. If you like American Pickers, if you like Pawn Stars, you have got to subscribe to this channel and start following us and watching these videos. Because every day, every week, we're going to come and show you all the things that we find in these houses. You won't believe the treasures that we uncover. It might be a coin that we find that's worth $10,000. It might be a letter that we've sold that is signed by Abraham Lincoln that we auction off the next week. So every day, you're going to have these videos coming at you of what we find in these homes. Again, American Pickers, they go and find and look in these barns and find all these things like old signs. This is where the treasures are. You won't believe what we uncover in these homes. And we do home after home every week. And we just want to show you some of the things that we find. And when we find them, we're going to show it to you. And then it'll be available for you and the world to buy on the auction site at Gleatons.com. So come on in and let's go see what we find in this house. So we're about to go into this house. It's full of things, a lifetime collection from almost every century in the last 300 years. And we're going to walk around and show you some of the things. Many times we're going to go into homes and show you before, just when we're uncovering the treasures. We've already been in this home and found some things, and we're going to highlight it and show you. So come on in, let's go. So this is over 60 years, a lifetime collection. And we're going to just start walking around and showing you what's in this home. Look at this old cool brass coat hanger. Look at this mid-century modern sofa over here. It's just anything and everything that you wouldn't believe. Look at this vintage bridge game. This silver on copper tea set. We uncovered some sterling silver flatware. We'll show you later. Okay, but we're going to show you. We found some things that we really want to highlight to you today. So we're going to just target in on a few things that are going to be on the sale. And by the way, these things are on auction right now at Gleatons.com. You can go bid on everything in this house and look at all the treasures that we found over a week's time. And it's at Gleatons.com. You'll see the link below. But right now, we want to highlight just a few things that are in this sale that we think you'll like. All right, I want to show you something that we found. It's the coolest piece. This Victor talking machine. This is a VV50 609 model. In 1921, this was made, and it actually works. So in 1921, the Victor talking machine, the Victor company, made the VV50 model, which was a portable music box that people could take to the beach, they could take to the picnic. It was a modern day boom box. So you can imagine back in the day, young people going to the beach or going to hang out, they would pack this thing up, pop it open, and play and dance and sing, just like young people do today. Let me show you how this thing works. It's very cool. Here's it. Wind it up. It'll play for a long time. And watch this. So in 1921, they sold 153,000 of these over a 3-year period of time. It was very popular, and it stayed popular throughout the decade of the 20s. And the Victor Talking Machine Company was the largest producer of music boxes back in that day. And what a cool piece. This is great to have for a collection, just to set around as a decorative piece. Just such an amazing piece and in great condition. Looks like a mahogany finish. It has the protecting metal pieces on the corners. The lever is in good shape, and it's stored back here in the back. So go to Gleatons.com and put a bid in on this. Here's another cool piece we found. Look at this old trunk. Steamer trunks and trunks were basically people's suitcases back in the day. This one is from the 1800s of Civil War era, which I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. It's so cool. But the people used to take on long trips. They would pack all their luggage, everything to go on their trips, just like we do in suitcases today. And they would stack them up into the steam rooms on trains or on the ships. And later, the people that had a lot of money, more rich people, they started making trunks that were curved on top, because then their trunks couldn't be stacked on top of, and they could get to them real easy. And so they started doing that. So if you see one with a curved trunk, that's where that came from. But look at this trunk. I'm gonna open it up so you can see inside of it. Come over here. And so it has a little shelf here, and then you can put some of your smaller things there. Oh, look in here in this one. It's an old gravestone in there. But about this trunk. So this trunk was in the Civil War area. I actually know about this trunk. It was the person who estate this is. This was their great-grandfather. The executor of the estate was their great-great-grandfather. Mr. Thomas Jefferson Lockhart built this trunk out of a log himself and coated it with leather. And this was his trunk. Now, Thomas Jefferson Lockhart, during the Civil War, he was actually a Union soldier. And listen to what happened to him. So Thomas Jefferson Lockhart, he was a Union soldier, and he was arrested by the Confederates. And he was found guilty of being a spy for the Union Army. And he was about to get hung. He was on a horse, and he had a noose around his neck. And a guy walked up, one of the commanders, and said, "Please stop this." And he whispered into the guy that was running the hanging ear. And he said, "This is one of my brothers." He was a Mason brother of his. And they said, okay. They cut the rope, hit the horse, and he rode off. And he served in the Civil War with the Union Army. And he retired and got a pension from the U.S. government and lived a long life. But that's whose chest this was. And this would be a cool piece to have with that story to go along with it for somebody. Okay, look at these cool things. So this is an Adlake Kiro lantern back from the early 1900s. These were started making. This is an antique lantern, and this was a railroad lantern. So this was a very important played a very important function back in the railroad days. This was actually light the way, and they used these as to signal for the trains coming at night and for turns. So these lanterns were for safety and prevented accidents, and were basically the street lights for the railroad. And these are just cool pieces to have. We have some. This estate has some railroad collections, some old railroad books. These are actually made into bookends. Were actually railroad rails here. And then look at this old antique typewriter, Underwood typewriter. And so this is very old. And all these are just cool pieces. These would be very neat and to have rustic decor or cabin or lake house. These would be great to have. But this house is just full of antiques and things from every century. I mean, we got things from, look at these Victorian sofas over here and chairs from the 1800s, early century 1900s. So this house is just full of treasures that we are finding. And again, you can go and bid on some of these things. There's hundreds of items in this sale. It closes this Sunday at Gleatons.com.